Good morning, fourth graders. This week we're going to be concentrating on social studies, a very important part of California history, which is the California Gold Rush. So we're going to be looking at primary, secondary sources and analyze them to find out how did this event in California's history, the California Gold Rush, affect California? How did it change it? So we're going to specifically be looking at how did this event end up affecting the people who were already living in California? How did the demographics of California change? Because once gold was found here, a lot of people from different places wanted to be here and live here and look for gold. Also, how did the economy of California change? They were no longer doing mostly trading, so how did people make money? And also, how did the environment of California change? So we saw how the building of the missions definitely changed the environment of California. And so we know that, or we can infer that the gold rush is going to actually change it as well. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you can see where to find the document. So again, you're going to go to Schoology, and in your Schoology, you should see the assignment, Social Studies 4.3 for June 1st. So you know that you're on the correct document. When you get there, go ahead and click on the link, and it should pop up. There you go. And so here you will see we have two sources that we're going to analyze today. So before I continue with the sources, I wanted to make sure and remind us that we learned about the missions and Spain coming over and taking over primarily the coast of California, building the missions and having the native people of California get baptized and stay in the missions and do the hard labor of the missions, using tallow to mix soap and candles, goods that the Spanish could trade. So here, at this point in the history of California, there was the Mexican independence. So Mexico won their independence from Spain, and in that they also received the land that was in California. So as we see this picture here, this is a depiction of, this is Mexican California. So this at the time in 1837 was called Yerba Buena. Okay, so this area is actually called San Francisco today. So in 1837, this was called Yerba Buena, and this was 11 years before gold was discovered. So in this picture, you only see like two residences. That means two homes. One is a tent, one is an actual house. And here, I want you to pay attention to the little minor details in this photo, in this illustration. So if you were going to describe Yerba Buena, how would you describe it? Is there a lot going on? Is it busy? Is it pretty, looks pretty isolated, not very many people there? And what do you think the ships are doing there? What are the ships doing there? What do you think they're doing? Okay, so go ahead and answer that question. And when you answer the question, you just click underneath the question and you can continue typing. Okay. The second source is it's a picture of San Francisco, and it's in spring of 1851. So remember that the gold was discovered at Sutter's Mill in 1848. So this is 3 years after the discovery of gold. And look at San Francisco now. This is Yerba Buena in 1851, right? You will notice that there are buildings and homes and all sorts of things. Very stark contrast to the first image that we saw. It's a big difference. So what happened after the discovery of gold is that a lot of people wanted to get gold too. They wanted to get rich quick. So there was this rush of people to California to go to the California mines to look for gold. Everyone wanted to get their gold. So that's why we called it the gold rush. And because all these people came, of course, they needed to have homes, hotels, buildings. They need to have some services over here too. So you see these towns being built so rapidly. And what we call them boom towns, because they just suddenly popped up very quickly. So in this time in California during the gold rush, the majority of people who were making money were not the miners, right? Not those 49ers, not those miners who came to California to get gold. The majority of people who made a lot of money during the California Gold Rush were the people who sold them equipment, tools, or people who offered services like cutting hair or the laundromat or restaurants. Those were the people who actually made the money during the gold rush. So in this picture, the question is asking you, how does this photo compare to the drawing above it? Very, very different. So make sure you use details from both sources to explain how they are different. And tell me why you think they're different. And then just go ahead and submit your document to your teacher, and then you are done for today. Tomorrow we're going to continue learning about the California Gold Rush and how it affected California. You see a big stark difference in the environment now from seeing that first source to the second source. So I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.